When I was a child, I loved putting up my blocks. If my blocks had a little hole on top that were the shape of the blocks. You know what I'm talking about. The boxes that have a square hole, for instance, this is all I have, just a little piece of plastic with a square hole, just so I can demonstrate what I'm talking about. And you have all the different shaped blocks. As a kid, I always knew, of course you learn very quickly, that the square block only fits through the square hole, and that it won't fit through a circle hole or a triangle hole or any other hole, and that a circle won't fit through the square hole. It only fits through a circular hole. There's no way it can fit in there. Now, of course, as a child, I didn't understand why, but I was always intrigued by the fact that a circle could not fit in the square's hole. I couldn't really understand that, because to me the circle and the square seemed to be the same size. They appeared almost identical. So why in the world could the square go through the hole, but the circle couldn't? Now, of course, now that I'm much older, I understand better why that can't happen. But I also understand that sometimes, because I'm a magician now, things can be manipulated. And what once seemed impossible can always seem possible once again. Just like this. Because you see, now there's a circle which clearly fits the circle block. And once again, even though the circle block fits, the square block does not. There's no way you can arrange this square block to cause it to fit inside of that circular hole. And this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to many people how a circular block can fit through the circular hole perfectly, just like this, and yet the square block can't fit through that hole. But what doesn't make sense to them is not that fact, because that fact's obvious. It's the fact that just a moment ago they could have sworn that there was a square hole in that same piece of plastic. A square hole that indeed did fit the square block, and indeed did not fit the circle block. But not only that, if you try to put the circle block in any other way, it won't fit. There's no way this circular block will ever fit inside of this hole. Even if we tried to do diagonal, that would be the one way it could fit, if it could ever fit. Even then, it's completely stuck inside of the hole. There's no way it can fit through, and that is why I love being a magician. I get to take what used to be impossibilities as a childhood and make them possible.